take a bite?
No, good. Damn, you gonna eat all that?
So in total, I worked 15 different jobs before I started dental school. It's insane. 6 jobs in high school, 6 jobs in undergrad / like a little transition period before grad school, and then 3 different jobs in grad school. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we're going to be making tteokbokki. This is my first time, so I'm super excited. So the first thing I'm gonna do right now, okay, sorry about the background. So our couch should be coming in, I think our couch should be coming in 2 weeks, and then we also got a standing desk, and that should be coming soon. So just don't mind the background. I promise it's gonna get better, okay? But anyways, today's video we're gonna be making tteokbokki. It has fish cakes, rice cakes, noodles, and then I'm going to add some green onion and some hard-boiled eggs. So I'm gonna turn this on right now. My little portable stove. And we're just gonna wait for this to boil. Once the water boils, I'm gonna throw down the noodles and the rice cake and let that cook for a little bit. And then once that softens, then I can throw in the rice cake and then the sauce and just mix it together. I'm so excited, I'm so hungry. So I'm gonna open this up now. So here's the rice cake. It looks like there's a lot. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, this is all the fish cakes it comes with. The noodles, the sauce. In today's video, I'm going to be drinking a delicious drink. It is the melon Japanese sodas. And I'm gonna take a sip. Ooh. So this is the same thing as like the Japanese sodas with like the little marble, but you get more. The melon one's super good. Water's starting to boil. I think I'm gonna throw down the rice cakes right now and the noodles. Super excited. I'm scared. Alrighty, gonna let this cook. I'm gonna try a rice cake. Let's see how it is. Oh my god. This is about to be really good, guys. I can tell you that. This is about to be really good. I just tasted the sauce. Two huevos, the green onion. Here. All right, I'm gonna take a bite. Oh my god, it's so good. The texture is amazing. So I'm gonna take a couple bites and then we're gonna talk about a topic that I came up with. Oh geez, it's a little slippery. It's really hot, so I have to wait a little. I just burnt my tongue. Okay, so the topic I'm going to talk about is, I want to talk about every single job I worked at before I started dental school. So this is a job that I got paid for. So it doesn't count like volunteer stuff. I did a lot of volunteer stuff and like internships and things like that and like research, but I'm not going to count those because I didn't get paid. I'm going to talk about every single job I had before dental school. And I actually have a list of it because I had so many jobs. So I'm going to start my first job. I'm going to go way back until my first job ever, right? The first job I ever had was working as a waitress at my dad's restaurant. So way back in the day, my family owned a Chinese restaurant in Santa Cruz, California, and it was really cute. And I started working there over the summertime, and I remember the first time I waitressed a table, and I think I was like 11, but I went and waitressed a table, and I was so scared. I was literally shaking because I was 11 years old, and I remember the wife was like, hurry up, like she's so scared, she's shaking. But yeah, it was pretty funny. But anyways, okay, so that's my first job ever, because I got paid. I think my dad would give me like 40 bucks a day or something, so yeah, got paid, which is pretty good. And we got to keep the tips too, but it wasn't much. The second job I ever had was when I was 14, 15 years old. I knew a friend, or I had a friend whose dad was like, he basically made like health pamphlets for kids, and they wanted to show diversity in the pamphlets. So I was chosen. I was basically a model, and yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun. Like a couple of kids from my middle school. Oh wait, this started in, okay, so I did it twice, I remember. I did it once in 8th grade, and then I did it again in like 9th or 10th grade. And every time we went, it was $500, which is a lot of money when you're that young. But it was really fun. Like, it was just all of us. It was like a diverse group of people. And we went to his dad's like little business place, and we took pictures, and yeah. I wish I had the pamphlets, but I don't. But it was basically just like health pamphlets, like don't do drugs and like exercise and like things like that. So it was pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to go through this list fast because I worked way too many jobs. Okay, so basically in high school, I wanted to go to Taiwan and visit my mom. She was living in Taiwan at the time, and I wanted some money, and I had a friend who was working at this candy shop called Marini's in Santa Cruz at the boardwalk. And she told me that she was working at this job, and I was like, oh my God, like, I was 14 at the time, and I was like, oh my God, I want to start working there. I think she got hooked up at, she was able to work there because her aunt or somebody, or like her uncle's wife, or I don't even know. She basically got the job because she had to connect. And then I asked her, like, hey, like, I really want to go to Taiwan and see my mom. I pretty much like told her, like, I really want money because I want to go see my mom. Can you hook me up with a job? And she was able to get me a position as a candy stalker because I was 14 at the time, and to be a register or to be working at the cashier, you have to be 15 or 16 years old, and you have to have like a working permit and all that stuff. But she was like, yeah, I can talk to them, and she got me the job. I was a candy stalker for like a month, and they basically, in the summertime at the boardwalk, they hire a lot of like foreign exchange people from other countries, and they hired this one guy for the cashier, and when he came, he couldn't speak any English. So basically what they did was they swapped us. So I was able to work the register because of that, which was really awesome. So that was job number 3 in high school. So I had a total of 6 jobs, right? So I worked in high school. Worked at my dad's family restaurant. I modeled like twice. That's not like a full-time job, whatever. It was just like 2 gigs. I worked as a candy stalker, and then eventually the cashier person. And then after that, my friend started working at a restaurant on the wharf. One of my best friends. And I don't even know how she got the job. She was always just like a hustler. And I think she just like went to the restaurant and was just like charmed them. And then they were like, okay, we'll hire you. So she started working there when she was like 15 years old as a hostess. And then I was like, oh, I want to work there too. Like, I have restaurant experience. And this is me like at like 14, 15. No, it was 15 because we're the same year. And I was able to get the job there too. So I was a hostess at this restaurant on the wharf, which was really fun. And then after that, I think I worked at the candy store, and then I came back from Taiwan. So basically, I worked there. I saved enough money. I bought my own plane ticket to Taiwan. At the time, it was like 900, and I remember it being just under $1,000. Dude, this is so good. This is the egg. But I remember it just being under $1,000. But yeah, went to Taiwan, came back. I didn't go back to the candy store. I wanted to work at the restaurant because my friend was working there. So, got the job, worked there. It was really fun. I think that's when I started getting more serious with school. So I think I just ended up quitting. I think my excuse was like I needed to study for the SATs or something. And then after all that was done, I had a neighbor who was super cool. He was actually the he's actually the principal of my high school. He really liked me. And he asked me if I would babysit for his sister-in-law. And I did that. So that was my other job. And then my last job in high school was, my brother at the time was working at the boardwalk, Whiting's Foods, and I wanted to work there. First, I don't know why I didn't go back to Marini's. I probably should have, because, anyways, it was his senior year, summer, before going to college. And I wanted to work a little, you know? So I started working at Whiting's, and you know me, like being super naive and like trying to be all cool and stuff. I was giving away a bunch of food to my friends, which is a stupid, stupid idea. I wanted to be cool. And then they found out because the way I did it was really stupid. I tried to be sneaky, but then it was just, yeah. Anyways, I got fired. I think I was working there for like a month and a half. Yeah. So I remember I got fired and I told my dad, and he was like, oh well, like, my dad's always been really chill. Like, I was such a rebellious, like, wild, adventurous person in high school and just like really naughty and stuff. And every time I got in trouble, he was just like, oh, whatever. But yeah, when I got fired and I told him, he was like, oh, whatever, like, you weren't gonna stay there forever anyways, you're going to Davis, so it's all good. But it was literally like just the beginning of summer. I think I had like another month and a half or 2 months after I got fired, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So those are all the jobs I had in high school. Okay, so it looks like I had 6 more jobs during undergrad, and then I had 3 jobs during grad school. I'm gonna take a bite. Even though the melon one's really good, I think I like the regular, like, original one. I think the flavor is supposed to be cotton candy or something. Or maybe it's just like soda flavored, like Asian soda flavored. Okay, so undergrad, Davis. My first job during undergrad was at a Japanese restaurant in Davis. And I just applied there because it looked really cute and like hip and stuff. And I worked there I didn't work there for very long. I think I worked there for like 4 months. And during that time, I was just like super like, always trying to get my shifts covered. I think it was like my sophomore year, like I was trying to juggle all these classes and like still work, and like it was just a hot mess. So I worked there for 4 months and then I quit because I went home for the summer. And then after that, I came back in the fall and I asked them if I can work again, and then they wouldn't hire me. Which makes sense because I was just like not a good worker. Because I kept on trying to get my shifts covered and stuff. Oh, even before that, okay. Before this Japanese restaurant, before the one in Davis, I worked at a Japanese restaurant in Santa Cruz over the summer because I did take some classes at UCSC and it was able to transfer to UC Davis because I think it was my freshman year summer. I went home because it's summertime and I wanted to take like a chemistry class. So I took a class at UC Santa Cruz, and then like I think after that I worked at a Japanese restaurant called I Love Sushi, and that was really awesome. And I think it was from that experience at I Love Sushi I was able to get the Japanese hostess job at Davis, and the restaurant is called Makuni's. So then I quit Makuni's because it was just like I was going home again. It was way too much on my plate. And then I came back. And then I wanted to work again. And then I ended up working at this Taiwanese restaurant called Hometown, and that place had really, really good Taiwanese food. Like they had the pork chop over rice, they had pork gravy over rice, they had really good chow mein, they had really good like everything. They had like General Chicken, orange chicken, they had like the deep fried like chicken drumstick over rice. It was so good. And they had like the tea egg, they had boba. But yeah, I worked there for like a while. But even though the food there was so good, and it was really cool because like I was able to speak Mandarin there, because the owners were Taiwanese and they like loved me. Like the owner like wanted me to like date her son. They were like stressed out. Like they were like the scary typical Taiwanese couple that would like literally like babe? Do you want to come out? Do I take a bite?
No, I'm good. Damn, you gonna eat all that?
Just take one bite of the rice cake. It's so good.
I'm good.
Like when the couple would fight, it was really crazy. So after I left that job, I graduated UC Davis and I stayed in Woodland, and then I found this waitressing job. It's a sushi restaurant in Woodland, and I actually stayed there for like 4 years. And that's where I met my boyfriend too. It's called Jinju Sushi. And that place was really awesome. Met a lot of cool people. And yeah, it was really, really fun. And basically when I was still working at Jinju, I started looking at other jobs too, because I wanted to make more money. I started working at this bar lounge called Mojo's in Woodland, and that place was a lot of fun. At Jinju, I worked as a server, and then at Mojo's, the bar lounge place, I worked as a cocktail server. And like, I feel like when you move to a new place, like, if you really want to get to know the area, just work in the restaurant industry, because you'll really like get the vibe of like the locals and just like the people there, you know? I totally got that when I was working in Woodland at Jinju and both Mojos. So that was really awesome. Like for example, at Jinju, there were a lot of Mongolian people, and I had never met a Mongolian person. I think I met one at Makuni's, and she actually knew all the Mongolian people in Jinju. And I just, just from working at Jinju, I learned that there's actually a large like Mongolian community in Sacramento, so that's pretty cool. And then at the Mojo's bar lounge place, it was just like a lot of like white people, but they were really, really cool. They're like the type of white people who like, I mean, I guess they're everywhere, but they're just people who like were down to just like get drunk and like have a good time and just like live like the simple life, which is awesome. Okay, so then my last job, leaving, so basically after I graduated from undergrad, I moved to Woodland. I worked at Jinju and Mojo's, and then I also worked at a dental office called Crown Dentistry, and that place was awesome. I was able to get the job there because one of the waitresses at Jinju worked at that dental office, and that just gave me like so much experience and really just like gave me like another, because like at that point like I was already doing I had really bad grades already, and I was still trying to get into dental school, and I was just like kind of giving up. But then working at Crown Dentistry, you know, just working there and getting the feedback that I was getting, that I was doing so well and like learning so much that like it really made me like, okay, I have to do this. I have to go to dental school. Like I can do it. So that was really, really awesome experience. And then my last job before I moved out of Woodland was I also worked as a tutor. I was tutoring like, I think 3rd graders at like this like summer like learning center place. And then I also did some like home tutoring of like, I tutored like genetics and biology. Okay, so then I moved out of Woodland. I moved to Alhambra, which is in SoCal near Los Angeles. And I basically had 3 jobs there. I mean, the first one doesn't really count because I only did it for 2 days. I did Lyft when I was in my master's program because I was a little bit tight on money. And it was cool. Like, another way to really get to know the area is just like working for like Lyft or Uber because you get to drive around town. And I felt like I got really familiar with the area. So it was just cool. Like, LA is just awesome because it's just like so much diversity and so much culture and stuff. So that was pretty awesome. So that was my first job when I did my master's program. And then after I graduated from my master's program, I was trying really hard to find a job that had to do with my master's program. Since I had research experience, like I tried to find something in research. I tried working at a dental office, but most of the times when dental offices looked at my resume, they knew that I was pre-dental. And they asked me like, when are you applying to dental school? And I would tell them that, oh, I already applied. And they're like, okay, there's no one gonna hire you. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is taking way too long. I'm gonna apply to just like 2 restaurant jobs. I actually applied to 3 restaurant jobs. And, you know, just make tips and just work in the restaurant industry in like SoCal or Los Angeles area. And I did that. So I got 3 jobs. One was at a like bar restaurant called the Chicken Coop, and I love that place so much. Like I made so many like awesome friends, and like I love them so much. So I worked at Chicken Coop as a waitress. And then I also worked at Ding Tai Fung, which is like a Taiwanese like restaurant, super like popular and really, really good. I really liked it there. It was so busy all the time. I started as a runner and I was hoping to become a server, but I guess it takes a while to move up. I did move up from a runner to a cashier, and like I was training to be a cashier, and I guess that was the next step to become a server. So I was literally training as a cashier for a little bit, and then coronavirus happened, and then I just stopped working there. And then I also worked at a sushi restaurant for a little bit. That was when like I had gotten hired for all 3 jobs, and I was like, I applied to all 3, just hoping to like get into at least one, but I got all 3. So I tried all 3 for like a week or 2. And then I ended up leaving the Japanese restaurant. The Japanese restaurant was super awesome too, but I think I talked about this in another video. I had to quit because there was no way I was gonna keep the 3 jobs, but also because there was this one girl who was like the head bee. She was the head girl, like she was like, you know, the OG girl, and she was just so annoying. I just could not yeah, but anyways. So I worked at Ding Tai Fung and I worked at Chicken Coop, and those 2 were my last jobs. And it's like crazy because like I remember before I moved to LA, like after I left Jinju, because I worked there for so long, I was like, I do not want to work in the restaurant industry ever again because it's a lot of work. Like you have to be so perky and like be so happy and stuff. And like, I think at least for me, I was just like overdoing it. And then when I started working at Chicken Coop and Ding Tai Fung, like those 2 restaurants were super busy, and literally the busiest week I ever had was I worked 6 doubles in a row. Like, and the shifts were so crazy. It was literally like I think it was like 10:45 to like 10:45 to 3:45, and then 4 until close. And like the Chicken Coop, they would close at like midnight. So I literally would work from 10:45 to like 1:30 in the morning, or you know. And yeah, so those are all my jobs. So I've been around. No, just kidding. But like, I think having so many jobs is pretty cool too, because I feel like I'm so used to being in like the work mode and like the workflow, where you're just like doing things and you don't even like really think about it. And I think I built a really good work ethic. So And like I've been around a lot of different types of people, like different cliques, different personalities. I've had to work with people that I have nothing in common with before, you know, and you just have to like work with them and get along with them. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm all full now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.